Thank you.
Thanks.
You, committee.
1, 2, 3. Before Assemblymember Chu leaves the room, can I do the consent item? Madam Secretary, please call the roll on the consent item. We have three items on the consent agenda. They are item 7, AB 806, 13, AB 1403, 15, AB 1516. Go ahead.
Chow.
Aye.
Chow, aye. Steinort. Steinort, aye. Burke. Chu. Chu, aye. Gaines. Gaines, aye. Lopez. Mullen.
Consent item is out. Let's go on to the next. Let's see who's next. Who's next?
Number 10.
Okay. Let's next go to Assemblymember Daley, which is item number 10 on the agenda, AB 909. 999. I need new glasses.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair and committee members. This bill, AB 999, allows landlords to dispose of abandoned mobile homes fairly and equitably. In order to dispose of an abandoned mobile home, current law forces a manager of a mobile home park to pay the delinquent taxes owed by the previous owner of the home. This bill fixes the problem by ensuring that a delinquent taxpayer remains responsible for the property taxes. At the same time, my bill maintains the stringent regulations and legal proceedings associated with the disposal of abandoned mobile homes. With me today is Catherine Borg, representing the Western Manufactured Housing Community Association, the sponsor of the bill.
Thank you. Welcome.
Catherine Borg with the Western Manufactured Housing Communities Association, and although our bill is not as exciting as the last one, it is exciting to us. Our bill would do exactly what the author said. It would allow us to get rid of abandoned homes without having to pay somebody else's personal property tax. And I'm sure all of you don't like paying your own taxes, and we certainly don't like having to pay somebody else's taxes. So for all those reasons, please vote aye.
Thank you very much. Next witness. Anyone else in support of the bill, please come forward. By the way, the bill has been moved and seconded. Witnesses in opposition to the measure, please come forward. Seeing none, let's bring it back to the committee. Questions or comments from committee members? None? Would you like to close?
I respectfully request an aye vote. Thank you.
Yes. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Motion states to pass to the Committee on Appropriations. Chow.
Aye.
Chow, aye. Steinort.
Aye.
Steinort, aye. Burke. Chu. Gaines. Gaines, aye. Lopez. Mullen.
Your bill is on call. You need one more vote.
Thank you.
Thank you much. Next.
Mr. Chairman, if I may interrupt, may I please modify my vote on item 12, Bill 1335, from no to not voting?
Will do. It's noted. Thank you. Assemblymember Bloom, welcome. Thank you for your patience.
You ready for me?
Ready for you. I think you're on item...
We're somewhere on that.
Somewhere. Number 9, AB 974. You may begin. Go ahead.
Thank you, and good morning, Mr. Chair and members. It's estimated that approximately $715 million in 2011 redevelopment bond proceeds are currently sitting idle and cannot be used. AB 974 authorizes the use of these bond proceeds, but only if various criteria are met. These include that the projects must be consistent with the Sustainable Communities strategy adopted by the relevant metropolitan planning organization, and there must be documented proof that 2 or more significant planning or implementation actions related to the project occurred on or before December 31st, 2010. And finally, there must also be documented proof that the bond issuance was being worked on prior to December 31st, 2010. Now, these last 2 criteria ensure that the 2011 bond proceeds will only be used for projects that were actively being planned prior to the governor's announcement regarding redevelopment dissolution. And based on these criteria, we believe that only about 60% of the bond proceeds that are out there will actually be able to be used. And this will eliminate cities that rush to issue bonds in 2011 in order to lock up funds for future projects that didn't exist. This is something that both the governor and the legislature have been concerned about. And please note that since the governor's veto of my similar bill, AB 2493, that sailed through the legislature, my office and sponsors have been working diligently with the Department of Finance to find a solution to the 2011 redevelopment bond issue, much as the governor suggested in his veto message. I'm also aware that of the RDA trailer bill, and we're hopeful that an agreed-upon solution to this issue can be included there. However, if there's not a consensus on the RDA trailer bill, we will continue to work with the governor's office and the Department of Finance on this bill and finding a solution to the 2011 bond issue. Thank you. I ask for your aye vote, and with me today is John Leonard, who's with the City of West Hollywood, who knows every little detail and then some about redevelopment and this bill.
Thank you very much. First witness, please.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is John Leonard, and I'm with the City of West Hollywood. The use of 2011 bond proceeds would provide immediate benefits to the state's economy, specifically 11,000 jobs, $1.6 billion in economic activity, and $76 million in new tax revenues. However, current law requires 2011 RDA bond proceed or 2011 RDA bonds to be defeased and their proceeds not spent. But over 90% of these bonds cannot be defeased until 2021. During this period, nearly $1 billion will be spent on debt service, and the proceeds will continue to go unused. Statewide successor agencies hold approximately $715 million in 2011 bond proceeds, as Assemblymember Bloom mentioned. The vast majority of these proceeds would be used for projects such as parks, libraries, roadways, police and fire stations, and over 1,400 affordable housing units throughout the state. For the City of West Hollywood, the use of 2011 bond proceeds would mean the renovation of one of the city's largest parks, a new preschool at that park, and 32 units of affordable housing for formerly homeless youth, seniors, and other low-income individuals. AB 974 will allow successor agencies to use their bond proceeds only if their projects can meet multiple criteria outlined in the bill and their projects have been approved by the Department of Finance. As Assemblymember Bloom mentioned, the criteria would only allow the use of approximately 60% of the proceeds. This bill in no way reduces the over $2 billion the state, schools, counties, and local districts currently receive every year for core services from the dissolution of redevelopment. Instead, the bill would result in a minor loss of additional dollars. For example, our analysis estimates that the fiscal impact to the state on average is $5 million per year in today's dollars in lost Prop 98 offset over a 29-year period. This analysis is based on over 2 years of extensive research, data collection from cities, and other various analyses. AB 974 further limits the state's fiscal exposure by specifying that any bond proceeds which are not used must be used to defease all or a portion of the bonds, and additionally the bond requires that successor agencies refinance their 2011 bonds to lower interest rates at their call dates, and this is a new provision that was added this year. This is important because many of the bonds were issued with high interest rates due to the uncertainty regarding redevelopment in 2011. The savings from the required financing would go to all taxing entities. One other item that the opponents to the bill have brought up is the level of debt issuance in 2011 versus the level of debt issuance in 2010. 2010 was actually an artificially low year for debt issuance. We looked back on the prior 10 years, and the level of issuance in 2011 was actually on par with the average over the last 10 years. And 2010 was so low because property taxes were still recovering, and there just wasn't enough room for redevelopment agencies to actually issue bonded debt. Finally, I would like to mention that last year's bill, AB 2493, was co-authored by 11 legislators, both Democrats and Republicans, and was strongly supported by a variety of public agencies and construction trade groups. We respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next witness, please.
Sylvia Solis Shaw, on behalf of the City of Santa Monica. We strongly support the legislation. We also support the criteria that is included in the measure. The city has been planning the use of these bonds funds bond funds for projects going back to 2000 that we started planning in 2005. These would include pedestrian and bicycle enhancements for first and last mile connections to transit. So projects that are going to reduce GHG emissions and increase the use of public transit. So we are very supportive and ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Next witness, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Paul Gonzalez, representing the cities of Folsom and Signal Hill in support of the bill. We'd just like to thank the author for his tireless efforts on this issue and encourage your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Others in support, please come forward.
Diana Rodriguez with the City of Linwood in support of this bill.
Thank you. Next, please. Seeing no other supporters, witnesses in opposition, please come forward. Welcome. Anytime you're ready, you may proceed.
Thank you. Christina Lockie with the California Special Districts Association. We represent special districts throughout the state of California that provide infrastructure and essential local services such as fire protection, water, libraries, parks, transit. And each dollar that funded an RDA, we opposed the bill because of the loss of funding to these agencies for these purposes. Each dollar that funded a former RDA was a dollar that was diverted away from special districts, cities, counties, school districts that were located within the RDA. And as we see RDAs being dissolved, we're seeing that money now being restored back to these local entities for these local services. AB 974 would allow former RDAs to spend up to $750 million in bonds at a direct cost to other local agencies that, again, are providing these infrastructure needs and local services. The cost of spending the 2011 RDA bond proceeds is particularly high due to what's been called the Mardi Gras effect, reaction by RDAs when redevelopment officials responded to the governor's proposal to dissolve RDAs in early 2011. And as a result, we saw RDAs issued more tax allocation bonds at an interest rate exceeding 8% during the first 6 months of 2011 than they had in the previous 10 years. And it is, again, due to this extremely high cost of these bonds that we're concerned about what that's going to mean to our local agencies and their ability to provide local services. We do appreciate the author's attempt to limit the eligibility of the bonds to actively planned projects. However, we are concerned with the language currently written in the bill. We think that it would authorize virtually any project that had ever been contemplated by an RDA or the city or county associated with the RDA to use these bond proceeds. We are open to discussing this issue to help establish some more meaningful criteria, but until then, we must respectfully oppose AB 974.
Thank you. Next witness, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Dorothy Holzman with the California State Association of Counties. I will echo my colleague from the Special Districts Association's comments in our respectful opposition to this measure. Again, property tax revenues is a zero-sum game, and we believe AB 974 will have significant impacts on all taxing entities, including counties. We do definitely appreciate that the bill was narrowed like last year to have more specific criteria, but as my colleague mentioned, we do feel the vast majority of projects will still be eligible to move forward. So today, we do respectfully ask for your no vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional witnesses in opposition to the bill, please step forward. Seeing and hearing none, let's bring it back to the committee. Any comments or questions from committee members? Hearing none, the recommendation is do pass, and I think this is the second time that this committee has seen this bill, and so I do have a. Okay, so we need a motion. I need a second. I second. I could second. So the bill has been moved and seconded. Would you like to close?
Thank you. I think the opposition fails to take note of a number of things. First of all, as Mr. Leonard mentioned, and particularly relevant to this committee, there are 1,400 units of affordable housing that are shovel-ready, waiting in the rings, ready to be built, that would provide a benefit to the state of California and residents here now or very soon, as soon as they're built. The effect on the agencies that the opposition represents would be very minimal, because these dollars, if they were returned, which currently they have to be, doesn't start for another 10 years when they have to be defeased, and so that money starts to incrementally come back and would have very little impact compared to the immediate impact that these bond funds, which have already been let out and cities are sitting on, unable to spend, would have currently. Mr. Leonard already spoke to the interest rate issue and why that is an anomaly. The Mardi Gras effect that opponents speak to is something that the governor was concerned about. That's why we have criteria. There are no cities that fall under the current criteria that would be spending funds for projects that somebody thought up because they knew that redevelopment was going to be ending. These are all projects that were in the pipeline. That's what the criteria are intended to approve and assure. I ask you for your aye vote.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary.
Motion states to pass and refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Chow?
Aye.
Chow, aye. Steinnorth? No. Steinnorth, no. Burke? Chu? Gaines? No. Gaines, no. Lopez? Aye. Lopez, aye. Mullen?
Your bill is on call.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Brown. Next, we have Assemblymember Brown, item 4, AB 654. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. And I would like to thank the committee staff working in my office to help narrow the scope of the bill. And this has been a rather long process, and committee staff has done an outstanding job. My hat's off to them. Before I go any further, I've understood, too, that Mr. Steinnorth would like to be a co-author on this bill, as it affects his area as well as mine, his district as well as mine. I like that. That's great. AB 654 requires revenues derived from voter-authorized and board-approved debt service override taxes be utilized for their intended purpose, the support of the state water project obligations. And it has to do with the redevelopment agencies giving the property taxes back. Since I've already have the motion, I would like for Mr. Hedrick to make comments.
Sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Mr. Hedrick is the executive director of our water agency.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Certainly we endorse the points made both by the author, Assemblywoman Brown, and the committee analysis. We just want to emphasize, especially during this time of drought, these revenues are needed to continue to make our region more self-reliant, again, being able to put wet year water to use so that during dry years like this, we can continue to meet the needs of our constituents without putting additional demands on the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. So we are in full support of the recommendation.
Thank you. Next witness, please.
Yes, Pilar Oñate Quintana here for the East Valley Water District. We're in the service area of the fine sponsor, and we just want to indicate our support as well.
Thank you. Next witness. Any additional witnesses in support of the bill? Seeing and hearing none, let's go to opposition witnesses. Seeing and hearing none, let's bring it back to the committee. Questions, comments from committee members? No takers? I'll take it. I just have a couple of follow-up questions for clarification. So we're dealing with these residual funds, correct? I mean, these are the funds that been, for the most part, what remains after all the obligations have been paid off, and then this is the residual pot of money, so to speak. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, they, if I'm not mistaken, they actually originally are from the agreement, what they call pass-through agreements that were entered into between the RDAs and the different entities, for example, water district, for example. And The process, well, as it currently stands, would allow an oversight board to make the decision. So the bill would essentially ask the oversight board to, number one, make the decision on whether or not this will be done. Is that not correct?
In the oversight board position to be able to determine whether or not the original intent of the legislation is being followed, being able to pay all the bonded indebtedness, et cetera. That's why it comes back to the oversight board, just to ensure that that is in fact the case.
So currently, the oversight board does not have that authority. So we're asking to grant them that authority.
I believe the oversight board does have that authority. The problem we have now is the county auditor controller does not follow the intent of these property taxes on how they should be distributed back when they're no longer needed for the dissolution process.
So the issue is the misallocation of these residual funds, if I'm characterizing it correctly then.
Yes.
So is this a problem very unique to Ms. Brown's district, or is it, how severe is this problem that you know of?
For us, it will, over the dissolution process over the next 30 years, it'll be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I think we were somewhat ground zero for some of the redevelopment behavior that may have led to the dissolution. So there was a very large portion of our service area that was part of a redevelopment project area, and approximately 40% of our property taxes were going through the redevelopment process prior to dissolution. So I think we're the primary beneficiary of this bill,
Sure.
but there will be lots of other state contractors especially that are in the exact same position.
Have you seen any other jurisdiction experiencing similar situation, or they're about to experience that situation?
Yes, this is being applied evenly, as I understand it, across the entire.
Well, the measure will be, but as far as the issue, the problem, is it happening everywhere
The
else?
dissolution process is being consistently
Sure. applied.
applied. So anytime you have a tax override rate like this one, it's going through the dissolution process, the same distribution, we call it misallocation, is occurring.
Right. Got it. Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? The recommendation is to pass. Would you like to close?
I just ask sincerely for your aye votes.
Thank you very much. The bill has been moved, and do I have a second? Second. It's already taken care of. So thank you very much. And so with that, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Motion states to pass and refer to the Committee on Local Government. Chow.
Aye.
Chow, aye. Steinorth. Aye. Steinorth, aye. Burke. Chu.
Aye.
Chu, aye. Gaines. Gaines, aye. Lopez. Lopez, aye. Mullen.
Your bill is out. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see, how many more bills do we have?
We have 3 more bills, sir. We have 2, 4, 7, and 682.
So we've got 3 more?
Yes, and if Assembly Member...
Thanks. Next, let's go to item 1, AB 204, Assemblymember O'Donnell. Welcome.
May I begin, Mr. Chair?
Yes, you may, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. AB 204 is a district bill and authorizes successor agencies in Los Angeles County to keep their existing oversight boards. There is no opposition to this bill. In fact, there is strong district support for this bill. As part of the 2011 Redevelopment Dissolution Act, oversight boards to individual successor agencies were established to supervise the dissolution of RDA projects. Current law requires all individual oversight boards in a county to consolidate into a single county-wide oversight board by July 1st, 2016. In Los Angeles County, this would effectively funnel the workload of 71 successor agencies into a single entity. AB 204 allows individual oversight boards in Los Angeles County to continue to independently operate in order to prevent both gridlock and cost increases in the RDA dissolution process. The bill is supported by the County of Los Angeles, the City of Long Beach, City of Los Angeles, and several other Los Angeles County cities. There is no opposition to this bill. And with that, Mr. Chair, I have my witness here today, Mike Arnold, on behalf of the City of Long Beach.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Please begin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Michael Arnold, representing the City of Long Beach. The author has described the bill very well. We're in strong support. The bill is much needed to avoid gridlock, which will otherwise occur in Los Angeles County.
Thank you very much. Next witness, please.
Sylvia Solis Shaw on behalf of City of Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti. We believe the largest county with 71 cities with oversight boards needs this additional flexibility. So we ask for your support, and I also want to testify on support on behalf of the City of Santa Monica for the same reasons. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next witness.
John Leonard in support on behalf of the City of West Hollywood.
Thank you. Additional supporters.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Paul Gonzalez representing the cities of Torrance, Signal Hill, Lakewood, Cerritos, and Paramount in support of the bill.
Thank you very much. Witnesses in opposition to the bill, please come forward. Seeing and hearing none, let's bring it back to the committee. Questions, comments? Mr. King, move the bill. Bill has been moved and seconded twice for a second time. So, would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for an aye vote, Mr. Chair.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Motion states do pass. Chow.
Aye.
Chow, aye. Steinорth.
Aye.
Steinorth, aye. Burke. Chu. Gaines. Gaines, aye. Lopez. Lopez, aye. Mullen.
Your bill is out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Let's go to Assemblymember Williams. Item number 5, AB 682. Welcome.
Mr. Chair, members, I want to start with thanking you and your staff for working with my office on this bill. This bill provides a narrow exemption to the permit requirements for alterations to mobile homes to ensure smooth implementation of the Mobile Home Park Utility Upgrade Program. This program is a voluntary 3-year pilot established by the PUC to authorize IOUs to convert 10% of the master metered mobile home park spaces to direct utility service. Currently, to participate in the pilot, the law requires construction permits. The permits are only issued if a homeowner has current title or proper paperwork certifying their ownership. Members, you know that many of these residents are low-income folks who have lived there for many decades, many of them seniors. It is not uncommon for them to lack the title or appropriate paperwork due to multiple title transfers, and this is inhibiting this program. This bill would provide a narrow exemption to the title requirements for a mobile home only for the purposes of this pilot. With me today is Catherine Borg. Yes.
The bill has been moved and seconded. Let's go to our first witness.
Catherine Borg with the Western Manufactured Housing Communities Association. We got some preliminary numbers yesterday from the PUC, and we're very excited to report that they anticipate about 2,100 applicants and 212,000 spaces. And then they will go through the selection criteria at that point in time to get to that number. And we hope to extend the pilot program beyond 3 years after it's all done. With that, I ask for a vote.
Great. Next witness, please. Anyone else in support of the bill, please come forward. Witnesses in opposition to the measure, please come forward. Hearing and seeing none, let's open it up for Q&As. Members, questions, comments? I just have a couple of follow-up questions. Are we, by bypassing the HCD process, are we also taking money away from HCD, for example, on the fees?
I can answer that question if you want.
Sure. I mean, you know, there is a technical service fee that HCD does charge for inspection to make sure that it meets all health and safety codes and regulations. But it's supposed to be a fee only and only pay for the cost. So I can't speak to the finances of HCD, but according to the structure of what this fee is, it shouldn't affect their finances if they do less of them.
I see. Now, on the 2,100 applications, what was the other number that I missed?
212,000 spaces.
Oh, okay. Spaces, 200,000 spaces.
Yeah. And currently, according to HCD's numbers, there's about 393,000 spaces in the state of California.
I gotcha.
For mobile home parks.
Got it. Great. Thank you very much. If there are no further questions or comments, would you like to close?
Just respectfully ask for your aye vote. It's good to see a bill about mobile homes that both park owners and homeowners agree on, and you probably, in your time in the legislature, will only see this once or twice more.
Right.
So you should take advantage of it.
That's a very good close. I do have a mobile home bill also, just FYI. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Motion states to pass and refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Chow?
Aye.
Chow, aye. Steinorth? Aye. Steinorth, aye. Burke? Aye. Burke, aye. Chu? Gaines? Aye. Gaines, aye. Lopez? No. Lopez, no. Mullen?
Your bill is out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. I'm told that the next author is on his way, so we'll just take a short break. You want to add on? You want to, let's see. We can do a lift. Can we shoot? See, do we have enough members to lift the call? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We can. Oh, okay. Well, we have to. So which one do we do? Do we need to lift calls on? So this one, all these. Okay. Let us lift the calls for several items for absent members. Let's start with item 2, AB 325. Wood was the author. Madam Secretary, item 2.
325, Assembly Member.
Please call the absent members.
Burke.
Item 2, AB 325. That's an aye. That bill is out.
Assembly Member Chu and Assembly Member Gaines. Aye. Assembly Member Gaines. Aye.
That's 5-0. That bill is out. So next is item 14. That's AB 1412. Pereira. The chair voting aye. Please call it the absent member.
Burke. Aye. Burke, aye. Assemblymember Gaines. Gaines, aye. Mullen is not here. And that's it, sir. We still have Assemblymember Chu.
That bill is out 4-0. Still, we'll let the absent members to add on. Next is item 8, AB 870, Cooley. Chair voting aye.
Assemblymember Chow, aye. Assemblymember Burke. Aye. Burke, aye. Assemblymember Mullen. That's it, sir. So we have 4 ayes.
We have 4 ayes on Cooley?
Correct.
That bill is out 4-1. Next, we have item 3, AB 396, Jones Sawyer. Please call the absent members.
Burke. Aye. Burke, aye. Lopez. Aye. Lopez, aye. Mullen.
That bill is out on a 4-2 count. Next item is item 10, AB 999, Daly.
Assemblymember Burke. Aye. Burke, aye. Chu. Lopez. Aye. Lopez, aye. Mullen.
5? Yes. 4. That bill is out on 5-0 count. Next item is 9. Item 9, AB 974, Bloom. Chair voting aye.
Assemblymember Burke. Aye. Burke, aye. Assemblymember Chu. Mullen.
That bill is still on call on a 3-1 count. We're going to take a, oops. Do the consent calendar? Let's do the consent. Yeah, we still need to call.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's. Okay. You good? Which one?
On the consent, Burke.
Let's do the consent item. Please call the absent members.
Assemblymember Burke. Aye. Burke, aye. Assemblymember Lopez. Aye. Lopez, aye. Assemblymember Mullen. He's not here, sir. So
That bill is out. 5-0. So, what I call? Allow them to add on.
yes, absolutely.
Okay. At this time, let's do the add-ons.
Okay.
204 and 654. Whose bill is this?
654 is Bloom.
Bloom. Yeah, we did Bloom.
But she wasn't here.
Okay. We do 645?
Oh, 6. Yes. 654.
Got it. Lifting calls on AB 654. That's Bloom. Please call the absent members. Bloom. Brown? Is it Brown or Bloom?
974. Burke is not up on 654.
Bloom is 974.
Oh.
And Assemblymember Brown is 654.
Okay.
Okay, that was 654 or no?
Correct. We have Assemblymember Burke can add to that if she wishes. 654.
Let's lift the call on AB 654. That's Brown.
Burke, aye.
That bill is out. Anything else? Let's lift the call on AB 204. That's O'Donnell. Please call the absent members.
204, Mullen. Burke. Aye. Burke, aye. Chu.
That bill is out. 5-0. Are we all covered? I see Assemblymember Rendon. Are you ready for your presentation? Please come on up. Welcome.
Members, I appreciate your patience. I was upstairs presenting another bill. Hope this goes as well. AB 723 takes a small step to ensure that the state responds to the drought in an effective way. The California Energy Commission recently updated its water efficiency standards for residential plumbing fixtures in response to the governor's executive order. Yet a big criticism of high-efficient fixtures is that they break easily, need replacement, and waste water and other resources in the process. Since the Energy Commission standards do not necessarily have high-performance requirements, AB 723 aims to ensure that efficient fixtures sold in the state perform and function well. This bill requires that when the CEC is developing appliance standards, they consider performance as an important factor, potentially using the federally set EPA performance criteria as a standard. AB 723 will ensure that Californians who buy and use these fixtures are getting effective and efficient products. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Any witnesses in support of the bill? The bill has been moved and seconded. Any opposition? Please step forward. Seeing none, let's bring it back to the committee. Questions, comments? Seeing none, would you like to close?
I ask for your aye vote.
The recommendation is do pass, and Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Do pass as amended and be referred to the Committee on Appropriations. Chow?
Aye.
Chow, aye. Steinnorth? Aye. Steinnorth, aye. Burke? Aye. Burke, aye. Chu? Gaines? Aye. Gaines, aye. Lopez? Aye. Lopez, aye. Mullen?
Your bill is out, 5-0. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Okay. Okay, so are we done with everybody? Okay, the bills are done. Will you announce it? Okay. That concludes the business of the day, and we're going to leave the row open for a few minutes for the absent members to add on.